What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you are having a happy 4th of July if you're here in the US. That's safe, filled with family, friends, love. I wanted to bring you a quick update on the passing of Keke Jabbar and the cause behind it. So, according to her friend in the Dateline article, this is what caused her passing. YouTuber Joann Jenkins, who featured Jabbar on her live streams frequently, is setting the record straight on the reality TV star. She said, quote, Keke did not overdose. Keke did not take her own life, Jenkins said on her YouTube stream. Keke loved life. Keke was not ready to leave life. She wasn't ready to leave her children, her husband, or her family. Jenkins noted to her viewers that when Jabbar was sleepy, she would go to sleep anywhere, end quote. And after visiting her sisters, revealing she left her sisters about 4 in the morning. It says, quote, last night she turned her car off and she fell asleep. Her car was not functioning and there was something already wrong with her car. Jenkins said that she was about to share the official statement from her mother about how Jabbar died, adding, so 7 something in the morning, her husband goes to the garage and he sees Keke in what he thinks is asleep in the car. He tries to get her attention. He opens the car up and she isn't breathing. Her husband, her life partner, her best friend tried to bring his wife back, the mother of his children, and he couldn't. Keke passed from carbon monoxide poisoning. That's it, and that's all. My sister didn't want to leave this earth. She didn't want to leave her kids. She didn't want to leave her husband. There was no turmoil going on in her life. She had a lot of great things to look forward to. It is sad, right? It is heartbreaking because 42 is extremely young and she did have a lot of things to live for. And she did have, a lot that was in her future. She has children, she has a husband. Even if she didn't have those things, right? Everyone's life is worth living. And so it's really unfortunate, that she is gone so soon. The good news is, well, relatively good news is that, she's, in my opinion, my hope, right, she's no longer hurting. May her soul rest in peace. My prayer is that, her husband and her children can, again, find a really good grief therapist to help them through this time of turmoil. And people are leaving, a lot of purple hearts and sending their condolences. Kimmy Scott sent her love and, her condolences. Stormy Steele sent a really sweet message saying that, it was an honor to spend time with you. And everyone is just really speaking on how beautiful of a soul Keke Jabbar was and what a light she was in this world. Tisha Scott, you know, we saw what played out, unfortunately, in front of the cameras in regards to Tisha and Keke. And the fact that they were so close when they were younger makes this scenario even more heartbreaking. Tisha wrote on her Instagram story, quote, you know how you fight with your cousin slash family and think one day we'll be cool again. That day is gone. It's not coming. And then she put a whole lot of purple hearts and a purple background. And I read that message specifically because I feel like there is such a powerful, you know, there's power in that statement. A lot of people are dragging Tisha for filth, and I feel like they are projecting a lot of their own, feelings of hurt and maybe unresolved conflict. But if there is someone in your life and who's not toxic, right? Who you can reconcile with, then I encourage you to do so when you are ready, right? Keke wanted reconciliation. She said that, she wanted to put the bad blood behind them. She wanted to move forward. And Tisha emphatically told her no. Now, She threw that cup of water on her, and Tisha's mom, Wanda, was saying all kind of ridiculous things as well. But it's unfortunate that they never had the opportunity to come together as family, because I feel like, Marceau, he said really disparaging things about Keke on the show. And so it's like, if you're going to, you know, disparage somebody like that, um, it doesn't seem as genuine to go back and, in hindsight, it's always 2020, but say, oh, I wish I coulda, shoulda, wouldas, right? But it is unfortunate because she's gone and she won't have the opportunity to reconcile. And I feel like if somebody extends an olive branch to you, you should accept it. And if you absolutely cannot be around that person, just say, I appreciate the effort that you're making. I have to set this boundary for my own mental health, but there is no bad blood, right? I wish you well. I wish you the best, because what you don't want to have happen is this situation, right? Where this could have easily been resolved if they would have sat down with like a Dr. Francis. I really wish they would bring him back on the show. I feel like ever since they took Dr. Francis off the show, it's been going downhill. I don't know. I don't know why they don't have him on retainer like Melody has with her lawyers with Miss Wanda. But I feel like the Whitlows, Tiffany and her husband, they didn't take that couples retreat as seriously as a lot of people would have liked, including Dr. Francis and his wife as well. But he was a really good therapist. He actually sat down with Martell and was able to get through Martell, who, in my opinion, is a textbook narcissist, calling the mother of his child, a peasant. And Dr. Francis, push back on that in real time. He was such a gem in this show. I really wish Carlos King would bring him back. Um, but anyway, get with someone like him. Get with a really qualified therapist who is experienced, who knows what they're talking about, and be able to sit down and unpack a lot of the issues, the hurt, the pain, a lot of the things. Marceau, he doesn't need to be gaslighting and instigating in the corner. Because the reality is, Keke, I feel like a lot of this stemmed from Keke speaking her truth and saying, well, this man, Marceau, does not treat you very well, Tisha. Like, he'll go to Africa and leave you, doesn't have his phone, just completely abandon his wife and his children for weeks on end, just on a whim. As a married man, that's single bachelor behavior. You have responsibilities. Not only do you have a wife, but you also have children, small children that need you in that home. And for Marceau to say how important his family is, to me, that's a lot of lip service, because he doesn't talk to his children well. He didn't even know that there was, one of them had a peanut allergy, which can be fatal. He doesn't talk to his wife very well. So the fact that Keke brought that up to her made her really angry. But as a cousin, as someone who's blood, sometimes you need to hear that truth, because I feel like nobody else cared enough about Tisha to tell her, your man is embarrassing you constantly on national TV, but also he's just not a very good man to you. He doesn't respect you. Baseline. There has to be a baseline level of respect. You know who he does respect? He respects Melody Cherie Rogers. That's who he respects on the show. And you can tell by the way that he talks to her differently than he talks to his wife. And Keke clocked it. She clocked that tea. She told her cousin, and that made her cousin angry. That's something I feel like could have been resolved with a good, family therapist, or even them just sitting there talking it out. But again, emotions, got heated. The water throwing, that was unnecessary. But I'm not going to speak ill of Keke because she's not here. But with Tisha saying, now we'll never have a chance to reconcile, that's big. That's huge. And I feel like that's something that we can all learn from, you know. Now, if there's someone in your life who is so toxic and is so abusive that you're unable to reconcile with that person, absolutely do what's best for you. You know what I mean? Set that firm boundary and keep it there. But if that person is, getting help, getting treatment, you feel like you can resolve things, I encourage you to do so. I might have to go back through, because I mean, I didn't have a good relationship with, my father, and now he's no longer here. I wish that we could have reconciled. That wasn't on me, though. I don't feel any type of guilt or anything. I'm just saying I wish that he would have stepped up, but he has to answer to the ultimate judge, right, about that. But when it comes to cousins, there's no power dynamics there, right? You guys are on equal footing. Your cousins, and you grew up together, and they were like best friends. So I really, truly hope that this family can heal and move forward, because the family wasn't even able to get out of Alabama good after burying Miss Wanda's sister, their aunt, right? They were down there for her funeral, and then now Kiki's gone. So life is short. You guys forgive, reconcile if you can, move forward. And I hope that all of you are enjoying your holiday. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Goodbye.